win and you get in. The Magic looking to make the playoffs in 3 straight years for the first time since 2000 to 2012 seasons. Winner clinching the 8th seed in the East and playing the 1 seed Pistons in the first round. Mid-first, Paolo Banchero drives over the shoulder to Wendell Carter Jr., drains the corner trade, part of a 13-0 Magic run. One of Banchero's 6 assists on the night. Now late first we go. Banchero. This time, instead of the helper, does it himself, takes it to the rack for the bucket and one. Magic up 22 after 1. Now late second, tensions rising for the Hornets, down 26. Miles Bridges with the ball. Desmond Bane forcing the turnover. Bridges, though, called for a foul on Bane. Bridges put his fist across Bane's face to get up off the floor. He was assessed a dead ball technical foul. All right, let's get things in order, fellas. Minute later. In transition, Franz Wagner lobs it up to Jalen Suggs. He throws it down. Magic up 31 at the break. That's the largest halftime lead in a postseason game in franchise history for Orlando. Early third now. Pass to Banchero, into the paint for the one-handed jam. Banchero finished with 25 points as the Magic dominate this one 121-90, making the playoffs in 3 straight years for the first time since the 2007 through 2012 season. Well, here's what lies ahead now. The Magic will assume the 8th seed and will face the top-seeded Pistons in the first round. First round action getting set Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. We are now joined by CBS Sports NBA analyst John Gonzalez. And John, I'm going to be honest with you. I hate being wrong. I'm going to be honest. I hate being wrong about things. But you know what kind of softens the blow? It's when you're not the only one that happens to be in the wrong, because we both were on the Hornets in this game when we talked pregame. The Magic, I'm going to be honest, they probably turned on CBS Sports HQ in the locker room, heard our conversation, because they ended up putting on a clinic against Charlotte to just punch their ticket.
ESPN just said the Orlando Magic are a problem in the Eastern Conference after they knocked out the Hornets to face the Pistons in the first round. And I need to stop you right there, ESPN. Because what you just called a statement win was actually the Hornets beating themselves before the game even started. Let me break this down for you because nobody else will. The first 2 minutes of this video tell you everything you need to know. The Magic came out and dominated from the opening tip. They went on a 13-0 run. Paolo Banchero had 6 assists in the first half. He finished with 25 points. The Magic were up 21-2 after the first quarter, up 31 points at halftime. That is the largest halftime lead in a postseason game in franchise history for Orlando. They won 121-90. Sounds impressive, right? Sounds like the Magic are finally the team everyone expected them to be at the beginning of the season. But here is what nobody is saying. The Charlotte Hornets looked like they did not want to be there. Not for 1 second. Watch the clip again. Watch Miles Bridges put his fist across Desmond Bane's face just to get up off the floor. That is not competitiveness. That is frustration. That is a team that knows they are about to lose and is embarrassed about it. The Hornets had just survived a 1-point overtime game against Miami 2 nights earlier. That game had 16 lead changes and 17 ties. They emptied the tank just to get to this moment. And when they showed up to play Magic, they had nothing left. Nothing. LaMelo Ball was out there jacking up shots he had no business jacking up. That is what the analyst John Gonzalez said. And he is right. LaMelo was trying to put together a dribbling highlight reel while his team was getting blown out by 30 points. That is not a playoff team. That is a TikTok audition. And beating a team like that does not make you a problem in the East. It makes you a team that did your job against a corpse. Now let me talk about the Magic. Because I am not here to hate on Orlando. I like Paolo Banchero. I like Franz Wagner. I like Jalen Suggs. They have young talent. They have length. They have defensive potential. But potential is not the same as being a problem. The analyst said the Magic looked terrible in the game before against the Sixers. He said they looked like they were ready to call it quits. He had them finishing 3rd in the Eastern Conference at the beginning of the year, and they completely failed to live up to that. Their defense went from 2nd in defensive rating last year to 13th this year. That is not a team that is getting better. That is a team that is regressing. And one blowout win against a tired, frustrated, emotionally drained Hornets team does not change that. Here is what the Magic actually are. They are a young team that struggles to score consistently. They are a team that relies on defense but has not played good defense for most of the season. They are a team that is about to face the NBER one-seeded Detroit Pistons in the first round. And the Pistons are not the Hornets. The Pistons have Cade Cunningham. The Pistons have Jaden Ivey. The Pistons have a real coach and a real system and a real home court advantage. The Pistons have not won a playoff series since 2008. That is 17 years of misery. And they are hungry. They are desperate. They are not going to roll over like Charlotte did. So when ESPN says the Magic are a problem, what they really mean is the Magic are a problem for bad teams. The Magic can beat a Hornets team that played an overtime game 2 nights earlier. The Magic can beat a Hornets team that had nothing left in the tank. The Magic can beat a Hornets team that committed stupid fouls and turned the ball over and shot 27% from 3. But can the Magic beat the Pistons? Can the Magic win a playoff series for the first time since 2010? I do not think so. And here is why. The analyst said the Magic finally looked like the team that was promised. But one game does not erase an entire season of inconsistency. One game does not fix a defense that has been average at best for months. One game does not make Paolo Banchero a playoff closer when he has never won a playoff series in his career. And let me be clear about something else. The Hornets shot 12 for 45 from 3. That is 27%. That is not the Magic defense being elite. That is the Hornets missing open shots because their legs were dead from the Miami game. The analyst even said, the Hornets were 3-1 against the Magic this season. 3-1. That means the Magic lost 3 times to this same Hornets team when the Hornets were healthy and fresh. So which version of the Magic is real? The version that lost 3 times to Charlotte? Or the version that won 1 time against a Charlotte team that had nothing left? I think you know the answer. And that is why I am not buying the hype. The Magic are not a problem in the East. The Magic are a first-round exit waiting to happen. They will go to Detroit. They will lose Game 1. They will lose Game 2. They might win 1 game at home. And then they will go home for the summer. And ESPN will forget they ever said this. Because that is what the media does. They overreact to 1 game. They see a 30-point blowout and they think it means something. It does not. Not in the playoffs. Not against a tired team. Not when the real competition starts on Sunday. So here is what I want you to take away from this video. The Orlando Magic are a nice young team. They have a bright future. They have a superstar in Paolo Banchero. But they are not a problem for anyone in the Eastern Conference right now. The problem is the Boston Celtics. The problem is the Milwaukee Bucks. The problem is the Philadelphia 76ers. The problem is even the New York Knicks. The Orlando Magic are a warm-up round for the Detroit Pistons. And when the Pistons win that series in 5 games, do not let anyone tell you it was an upset. It was not. It was expected. Subscribe to the channel if you want real playoff analysis. Not the ESPN hype machine. Not the overreactions to 1 game against a dead team. Just the truth. And comment below. Do the Magic have a chance against the Pistons? Or am I right that this is a first-round exit? I read every single comment. Now let me know your thoughts and get ready for Sunday.